Hi, hello, my name is David Reed. I'm a course advisor here at Point Blank Music College. This, for the last time, is my colleague Danny Lewis, who's our lead course developer, and we're here to tell you some more about what's going on at Point Blank Music School. Welcome along to Friday Forum Live. Hi, hello, welcome along. As you may have gathered from my introduction there, this is the last time that Danny will be joining us for Friday Forum Live. It's a very sad day. We're all feeling slightly fragile as a result. But yeah, Danny's been with us for a number of years and has been kind of absolutely instrumental in what we do here at Point Blank. So yeah, today we're kind of saying goodbye to him as he's moving on to pastures new. But we're going to kind of see him off in style. So the idea is I'm going to talk you through some of the kind of things that are going on at the music school at the moment, some of the things you can look forward to. Danny is then going to do a demonstration of his brand new toy, which is over there.
The Moog, I should say Moog Minitaur, which is an amazing piece of analog synthesizer, basically. So we're going to go through some sound design stuff.
So yeah, we're going to do some serious knob twiddling for you today. So yeah, Danny's going to twiddle some knobs, and then as a special treat, we're going to sign off with a little DJ set as well from the one and only Mr. Danny J. Lewis. So yeah, you've got a lot to look forward to, basically. So I'll kick things off. It's a big week for us this week because it's the first week of a new term at the online school. If you're new to Point Blank and you've just discovered the website and you're thinking, oh, is it too late to jump on a course? The answer is no, it's not. You can actually enroll up to the end of this week. So there's still places available. They're in short supply, but there are still places available. So you can still enroll on a course. And this is the beauty of online learning, is that the timetable is completely flexible. Once you're enrolled, you can just jump in and start working your way through the course material, you know, on your own timetable. So a question that we get quite a lot is, you know, I've got a full-time job, can I fit this in around work? And the answer is, yeah, absolutely. The majority of students who learn with us are in full-time employment, or they've got families, or they've got other commitments. And as I said, that's the beauty of learning online, because you decide when you do the lessons. They're open and available to you 24/7, so you can just log in and check out, you know, the course materials for that week, and that's all available now. So like I said, if you've got a particular course in mind that you're thinking about, or maybe if you need some help deciding on which course is going to be appropriate for you, either post us a question on the forum now, on the comments, and we'll try and tackle it for you, or you can get in touch via email, you can get in touch with a course advisor via the website, and we'll be happy to kind of talk you through the options. But yeah, there are still places available. You can still jump on. It's not too late. We've also got a new thing coming up in July that you need to know about, which is basically a recommend a friend scheme. How that works basically is, if you're already kind of completely in the know with Point Blank, you've maybe done courses with us before, I'm sure you've got friends who are kind of music producers and music makers as well. Tell them all about it. For every one of your friends that subscribes to a course and books online, we'll give you £30. So yeah, you can earn some cash back for every friend that you refer onto the course. If you want to find out more, there'll be details going up on the blog later today. So you can find out all the details there, but this scheme will run throughout July. So basically, tell all your friends about us. You can do this on Facebook, you can do it on SoundCloud, however you want to spread the word. But for every person that is referred to us as a result of your recommendation, you can earn money back. So if that's something you want to get involved in, then yeah, start recruiting. So yeah, what else can I tell you about? We can take a quick look, if you like, at some of the classes that are taking place at the moment. As I said, term started on Monday, so I've got one of the classes up here. It's a Deep House course on Ableton Live. If you're new to the school, this will just give you a quick idea of how it's laid out. So, you know, if you're thinking of enrolling, once you're logged in, this essentially is what you see when you first log in. This is like your home page, if you like. So yeah, just to give you a quick bit of orientation. Along the left-hand side here, this is the syllabus. So this is where you access all your course material. I'm looking at week 4 of the Deep House course. So this essentially is where we're looking at kind of the final arrangement and mix down of your track. So as you can see, all of the lessons in here are all related to sort of, you know, structuring, arrangement, mixing, some guidance on compression, EQ, and then finally your final mix down. This final assignment section is where you would upload your final track. So your final assignment in week 4, as you can see as I scroll down here, this is basically where you would upload your final track, and then within a couple of days what you get back is one of these DVRs, direct video responses, which is a one-to-one kind of session with your tutor where he deconstructs your track and basically gives you some sort of personal advice and guidance on how you can improve. If you want to find out more about how that whole process works, there's a video on the website that explains it. And we also went into a bit of detail last week on Friday Forum Live, and Danny did a few sort of live DVRs. So we went into a student's track and kind of, you know, just looked at the ins and outs of how the track was put together and gave, you know, some sort of on-the-spot feedback on, you know, areas that could be improved and, you know, things that were working well, all that kind of thing. Bear in mind, every one of the tutors that teaches here is a pro producer, so it's essentially like sitting in the room with a pro and having them go through your track. I'll just give you a quick guide through the things on the right hand side here. So this is the schedule. This tells you what time it is. As you can see, I'm logged into a course that's actually finished. So this was a class that took place last month. Announcements is basically where your tutor will contact you and make announcements about you know, when the live masterclass is going to take place, or, you know, anything else that you need to know about. The chat room is where you take your live classes every week. So again, we've looked at those in previous Friday Forum sessions. We've looked at how a live masterclass might work. So again, look back through the YouTube archive if you want to get a clearer idea of how that whole process works. And then down here you can see all the forum posts. So if we jump into one of these, oh okay, so this is if you happen to miss one of the live masterclasses, and again this is a question that comes up a lot, what happens if I can't attend the masterclass? They're all archived. So as you can see here, Ski, who's the tutor, has basically given a transcript. So this is basically like a zip file that you can download and you can watch the live masterclass as and when it suits you. It's great, right? So, you know, if you're at work and you can't get away, or, you know, you think you're going to miss the class, don't worry, you can always catch up later. So yeah, that should give you a quick overview of, you know, what's going on at the moment. These classes are all, you know, running at the moment. And as I said, there is still some availability, you know, on the class. So check out the website. That'll tell you, you know, whether there's availability. You can still enroll up to Sunday, I think. So yeah, jump on board, or obviously we've got classes starting again in July. So that's it for me from the time being. I'll check out the comments section now, see if any of you have got any questions about any of the things that are going on, and I'll pass you over to Mr. Lewis.
So the Moog Minitaur, it's difficult for me to say, as I keep saying Moog and Minitaur, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So this is an analog synthesizer. So we're not talking about any kind of digital recreation. This is the proper old school circuitry, and do you know what? This is literally about 10 minutes after I've even turned the thing on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the sort of sound design basics. And the reason why I'm able to pick this up and have a go and have a play around with it is because of understanding the kind of building blocks about synthesis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through some of that stuff now. On the screen on Logic, I don't know if we can have a look at that, but if we can see the Logic screen, you've got a collection of kind of visual feedback tools here. There's going to be stuff that you're obviously going to hear, but we've got some visual kind of, you've got a representation basically of the waveform over here on this plugin. This is a free plugin called Smexoscope, and if you search for the word BRAM, B-R-A-M, and smart electronics, you'll find a company where you can download that. So this is really good if you want to do some analysis of sound. This is the sort of stuff we do on the sound design classes. You know, we go into this sort of stuff and really get inside, you know, the proper building blocks of making your own sounds. So this is going to be a really nice demonstration because we're using a proper analog synthesizer. So you're going to actually hear something that's very, very pure. And it's got a lot of balls, this thing, you know. It's a very, very powerful synthesizer, particularly for bass. That's what it's been designed for. It's got a single mono output, you know, so we're just working with a mono sound, and the controls here are where everything comes to life. So I'm just going to play a note. Now, we can hear there's a very warm kind of tone there. You know, it's like a sine wave. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with this and start introducing some stuff. Now, this, we can adjust the frequency. What I want to do is just see what's going on, because this is definitely sounding as if the filter's closed, but I've actually got it open here. So like I said to you, it's about 15 minutes after I first started using this thing. So I'm just going to have a look. I'm just going to adjust the controls here. It's definitely behaving a little bit different. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and power it down and restart it. And it's quite funny actually, they say that you need 15 minutes to let the unit warm up until it gets to the right kind of tone, you know, the right kind of musical pitch. So I'm going to see if we can get this going again. Just come back onto that track. It's typical my last day for doing these live things, it's playing up a bit. Let me just, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart Logic. And going to do it that way.
Maybe so this is a good time to look at a few of the comments.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of love in the room for Danny, that's for sure.
Oh, thanks guys. I'm going to miss everybody.
So yeah, there's a lot of people saying, you know, their goodbyes to Danny. You know, a lot of people saying that, you know, true inspiration and talent, which is, yeah, we're very aware of that here, and obviously, you know, anyone who's studied with Danny will appreciate that, I think. So yeah, there's a few people. We've got someone in Jimmy's in Fife, Scotland. Yeah, definitely give us a shout and let us know where you're watching from. A few people. Let's have a look. Yeah, sorry. Also, we were running a little bit late to start with, so yeah, there's a few people wondering where we got to, but yeah, we're here now and we're live, so yeah, don't worry, just a few sort of technical issues as we were getting started.
Right, we're back in business now.
Okay, right, we're back.
Okay, so let me get the plug-in so we can see this. Sorry, excuse me. We had a big drink last night, by the way, so I'm not quite as efficient as I would be usually today. I'm definitely slightly worse for wear. Let me just slow this down. Right, okay, so we can see a sawtooth waveform. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you that on these two analyzers, and it's displaying it in different ways because these analyzers have got different characteristics. What I'll do is I'll go to high resolution on the Logic one, and all of this kind of spiky information is this fizzy characteristic that we can hear. So what I'll do is I'll basically turn the filter cutoff frequency down on the Minitaurs. So watch what happens, have a listen as well. Now, when I've rotated the filter cutoff to the left, I'm basically reducing all of this high frequency information that we heard. So we've got this warmer tone. And this is the kind of stuff that you've probably heard before, this kind of filter opening and closing sort of thing, which is obviously like a wobble kind of bass. And that's really growling. You know, this synth has got a lot of real heavyweight energy to it. You know, that's what it specializes in, that bass kind of tone. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the resonance. Okay, so if you have a listen, you see what happens. It's going to be a different characteristic. If you take a look at the EQ, you know, this spectral analysis display, and in fact you can see it really clearly over here. We've got this spike, and I'm going to take it up higher. and it's feeding back. That's basically what's happening. The signal is being fed back into the filter. So we get this increase in level, but also we get this additional tone. And we're getting almost like a few notes playing, and that's what we're hearing in terms of the sound. And this particular filter is known for having this kind of character, you know, they call it self-oscillation. So it becomes like a sine wave, basically. And that's a particular characteristic of this. And if you're listening on a big system at the moment, you'll notice as I turn the resonance down, and you'll see this too, look to the left-hand side where we've got the low end, the sub. If we reduce the resonance, you'll see that go up. Because it's a particular character of this filter, this ladder filter. The Mini Moogs were famous for this. So if we increase the resonance, we're feeding back into the filter, creates this extra level, this extra tone, but we've lost some bass. So it's a little trade-off. So we roll it back down and we got all that fatness back again. So there's a lot of movement going on there. Now your filters that you've got on, say, Logic or Ableton, Cubase, they'll have different characteristics, you know. So this is one of the great things about it. You know, if you're choosing a synthesizer, you're choosing a particular filter type for its character. You know, this has a particular character. So what we do on our courses is get you guys to understand the sound of all of these different filter types, you know, different slopes of filter as well. This is fixed. I can't choose any others, but it's a lovely, lovely character on here. So what I'll do, just show you some of the capabilities. Just going to take it back to normal, and I'm going to bring the envelope in. So what I'm going to do is bring the filter cutoff down a bit, and then I'm going to take the sustain down, take the decay down, and we start to get into this kind of synth bass territory. So that's a real classic sort of Moog bass kind of flavour. And what I could do, of course, is slow the attack on the filter envelope to give it that texture. A lot of people are into that. If I reduce the envelope amount, we still get the movement, but it's not as bright. All right, so that's kind of like the height of the actual filter movement. So your envelope amount or modulation amount, that's always going to increase the highest frequency that we're going to hear in that movement. Something that's really, really good fun on this one is of course things like glide. So we've got this here, I've got a little rotary control. So we can go from one note to another. Obviously if I've got a big keyboard, I can create one of these really kind of intense rises. So there's tons of fun. I mean, basically having the physical controls and particularly things like the ergonomics here, this is like a larger cutoff knob. So that's where a lot of people are going to dive in. You know, the physicality of something like this is great. And so if you also wanted to create some movement on the sound, let me take that glide off. If you wanted to create some more movement, of course, you could use an LFO. So we've got a modulation section down here. So there is, this is the, basically the pitch. So it's going up and down in pitch. I can increase the height of the pitch up and down. And we could do the filter. We got the speed here. Let's bring that down. You know, so these kind of textures have, you know, been very popular over the years, of course. But there's a real sound and character to that. If you guys are listening on a good set of headphones or on a big system, you know, and if the audio is good enough on the stream, you're going to hear this kind of really rich, heavyweight sound on there. So what I'll do is just see if anyone's got any questions about what I've been doing, anything I've been playing around with there. Is there anyone who's got any questions on the...
A few shout outs actually, because I said, you know, let us know where you watch.
Yeah.
So shout outs to Belgium, Terra Jumper 69 in Belgium, DJ Takism in Greece, A Kerbal in Germany, Ugo ZG in Zagreb, Digital Puppy in Dubai, Johnson in Dublin, And then Diego Almeida. I don't know where you are, Diego, but yeah, basically the online school is completely global. So the classes that we've been talking about today, the online classes, you can enroll from anywhere in the world. And all of the countries that I just mentioned, we've had students from all of those countries. Some of you are probably existing students. But yeah, you can enroll from anywhere in the world. The classes are accessible 24/7, so it doesn't matter where you are. You can access your course materials. If you want to come and study here at the college in London, then obviously we have lots of international students here as well. Drop us a line, advice@pointblanklondon.com, and we'll fill you in on all the details of accommodation and the kind of things you need to know as an international student. But yeah, certainly at the online school, it's a completely worldwide community, which is great because every time you log in, you're talking to producers in Greece and Croatia and the US and South Africa. So you really start to get a feel for the fact that there is this kind of worldwide music community. All these people that are really passionate about kind of producing music, and that's what we're all about. The most recent comment I've got for you, Danny, was make a fat bass line. So there's a request for you. Make a fat bass line.
Yeah, I don't know what it is at the moment. I'm feeling a bit lazy when it comes to playing in stuff and sequencing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. If it was another day, I'd probably get into it. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, fat. The thing is with the fat, the terminology, the word fat being used is usually just something that's got a big bottom to it, and the sound. If you're going to make something, if you want a big bass line, you're going to make sure that it's got a nice bit of kind of body in the low end. That it's got plenty of sub weight, and if you're using something like a Sawtooth, this particular filter here, you heard it was sounding really warm and really fat. If things aren't sounding fat enough, take an octave below. Put something like a sine wave or a triangle wave underneath the sound that you're using. So 12 semitones below, octave, literally below the actual sound that you're using. That will make it fatter. And if you've got it on the same synthesizer, then you can run two oscillators together. Maybe you're going to do it with two synths, just one above each other. Then you've got more control. You could EQ each synth independently then. So you've got a low sub layer and then a sort of mid and highs layer. So in terms of creating a fat bass line, technically in terms of the sound, you just need to make sure you've got that lower area with enough warmth in it. Everything, say, below about 100 hertz, really probably about 80 down to 40, that's quite a critical area. You want just a nice amount of energy going on there. So, that's kind of what I would say is fat. In terms of the bass line, there's too many permutations really. It's like, because when we sit down and compose, you never know what's going to come out for starters, whether it's going to be an effective demonstration. I'm not the world's best keyboard player, so that's why I'm taking the easy option here. Next week you've got Ski, isn't it? Is Ski coming in?
I think so, yeah.
So Ski's your man for the keys stuff. If you guys have got any questions about keyboard or you want to see riffs being played or melodies and bass lines, that's his skill area, his main, skilled in other stuff as well, but that's his main area on the keys.
Ski is a keyboard wizard. So yeah, he's teaching the electronic music composition course that's running at the moment, which has been really, really popular. So yeah, he'd definitely be the guy to speak to. If you're looking at more of the kind of melodic kind of elements to your tracks, and you feel like they need a bit of development, and maybe you're confident with the technical side of what you do, but less so on the musical side, which, let's face it, a lot of us are. Danny's kind of admitted that he's not the most amazing keyboard player. I'm certainly not the most amazing keyboard player, so I think that course is a really good one to check out if you haven't already. Couple of more shout outs. Diego is in Portugal, so yeah, I asked you where you were and you came through for me, Diego. You're in Portugal, so hi to you. Thanks for tuning in. Terra Jumper says, I'd love to come to London and study but got no place to stay. That's why people study online. You don't need a place to stay. You can study from the comfort of your own sort of studio, your own home, and obviously you've got none of the associated costs with travelling to and living in London. So that's why the courses online have been so popular, or one of the reasons. And then there was a really technical question as well from Mr. Ferrell One, who says, is it true that the original release Mini Moog Model D had 12 dBs of overdrive on the filter?
Gosh, I've only ever used the original one in the studio maybe about gosh, about 15 years ago. So I can't remember. JC, has it got overdrive? Yeah. Not
we
quite
might have,
sure,
to, we might have
yeah.
to look that one up for you and get back to you.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put the answer in the comments. Okay, yeah, there's a few more people asking for sort of specific kind of sounds that they've heard in tracks. This is exactly the kind of thing that we deal with in the classroom forums. So if you're logged into a class, if you're actually taking a class with us, a great way to get this kind of feedback is to post questions in the forum. So if there's a tune that's really big for you at the moment as a DJ, or that you're really kind of feeling and you're not quite sure how the producer got a particular sound or a particular effect, post a YouTube link in the forum, send a message to your tutor and say, look, I'm kind of interested to how they got this effect. Can you let me know? And the tutors will be happy to sort of, you know, give you some feedback on that kind of thing. It's not something that we can do for all the requests this week, because we're kind of not going to have time. But yeah, certainly it's a feature of the classes. You know, it's the sort of thing you could ask your tutor and he'd be happy to help. Digital Puppy was asking, why would you use this instead of a software synth?
Yeah, do you know what? I was having a conversation with someone earlier about this, and because I've been such an advocate of software plugins, you know, for a long time. I've always said, you know, these things are great. Getting this is kind of like a moment where I'm sort of working out, you know, how much I am happy with software synthesizers. So at the moment the jury's out, but what I'm hearing is there's something different.
I
can't quite put my finger on it, but it feels richer, more kind of, it feels like it's alive. It feels like it's got
lovely
personality. It feels like a real instrument. That's what it feels like. It feels like an instrument. You know, if you've got guitars and they're physical bodies and strings and everything there in that body is making that sound happen. And here is some electrical circuitry that's bringing the character of that instrument. So there's definitely something special. I mean, this could be the start of a very bad addiction from now on, because these things are much more expensive than their software equivalents, you know. And I've been a real big person who's pushed things like, you know, the ES2 inside Logic, you know, analog inside Ableton, you know, these, you know, the free tools that you get with these DAWs. I've been making loads and loads of great sounds with them, and I've been very happy up until now. But it's been a long time since I've had hardware. You know, I used to have a hardware studio, but over the years, got rid of the gear. Never had a Moog for myself. You know, I keep saying Moog, you've got to say Moog, haven't you? But yeah, never had one for myself. So this is lovely. It's lovely. It's amazing.
Yeah. It is a lovely thing. It sounds. I mean, I hope you kind of getting how nice it sounds. You know, at home, because it does, like in the room here, it does sound really warm and lovely.
Yeah, it comes with a warning as well on the box. You know, it can cause structural damage, and in fact, it's got earplugs inside the box as well, which is
maybe
amazing.
we should do that as a sign-off. Maybe we should try and cause some structural damage before we, as a little closer.
Yeah, totally.
See if we can just sort of reduce the building to rubble before we leave. DJ Damien Saint asked an interesting question about that EMC course that I was talking about. Do we need to be able to play keys and have a solid understanding of music theory to take the EMC course? The answer is no, Damien. That's the whole point of the course. It's aimed at producers like me, who are sort of reasonably competent with the technical skills. You know, you can put a track together, but there's an element that's missing, and that element is maybe the music theory or the more kind of melodic musical side of what you do. And I think quite often that's the thing that makes successful tracks stand out. You know, even if you're making really kind of underground, left field tracks, you know, you need that hook, that kind of melodic element that's going to catch someone's ear, and that's why those tunes end up in DJs' boxes, and you know, in the more commercial end of things, that's why they end up on the radio. That's why people end up playing them, is because there's some kind of melodic hook or content that kind of just catches your ear and holds your attention. So that's what the EMC course is all about. It's all about developing the more musical side of what we do. You know, moving away from making, you know, grooves and loops and using samples, and actually looking at the kind of the musical kind of aspect in a bit more detail. And it is something that a lot of people struggle with, myself very much included. So yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, Ski is teaching that course and is a real expert in that field. He's played keys with some, you know, major artists, and he's a really sort of experienced producer as well, so you're in very good hands there. I'll do a quick refresh and see where we are with the questions.
Quite a good one. Would you use it as a live performance tool at all?
I could see myself using that, definitely. The thing is that I'd have to get a keyboard to plug into it. That's the only thing. One of the great things about it is you can actually route audio in to use a filter. So that's an aspect that I'm going to consider doing. So running stuff through it. At a gig, it'd be quite nice to have some mad sort of siren-y stuff coming from this, and just, you know, sort of effects, sort of sweeps and things. It could be quite good to use, definitely. I think a lot of people, if they're live performers, would look at something like this. If they've already got a keyboard rig and a setup, they'll look at something like this as being a really, really good addition, because they can just literally plug it into their setup, use their controller keyboard and trigger it. You know, it was actually so easy to set up in Logic. It's, you know, literally just plugged it in and it became available as a device, as a MIDI device on the right-hand side on the browser. So it's a very, even though it's an old kind of school piece of kit, it's very modern, very, you know, it integrates, start again.
Have you been drinking?
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm still suffering. I'm still from last night. It integrates really nicely with the digital audio workstation, basically.
There's obviously a few Johnny Miller fans out there today as well. Digital Puppy says you should get Johnny Miller on the Friday Forum sometime. I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
For those of you that aren't familiar with his work, Johnny teaches some of the Ableton classes. He's teaching the Ableton production course at the moment. He's also responsible for the track that Terra Jumper mentions. So that Z-Bias Joshua Black track. Joshua Black is one of Johnny's aliases. So he's actually on production duties on that track. So yeah, big up Johnny Miller. You'll be hearing from him later, and I imagine we'll get Ski on here as well. So there'll be lots of you know, other tutors getting involved. So you know, if you've got particular requests for them, things you want to see them do within reason, get in touch and let us know. How are we doing for time? Is it time to spin some tunes, do you think?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah? Yeah. So as a little send-off for Danny, we're going to, and as a little treat for you guys, we're going to move him away from the kind of production workstation and get him on the decks where he kind of is equally at home.
You can talk.
So yeah, as I say, as a little treat, a little sort of send-off for Danny. He's going to kind of spin a few tunes just to sort of, you know, see us out on this Friday Forum. So yeah, hopefully you'll stay tuned and kind of
got the audio going
bump along at your desk or wherever you are. So yeah, thanks for joining us.
Is this going into the
as I said earlier, if you've got any questions about any of the courses that are coming up or that are running currently, then you know, please get in touch. You can contact us via the website, and you know, we'll be happy to answer your questions. So I'll keep checking the comments section here and just see if there's any sort of final questions coming in that need urgent attention. Danny's going to get set up on the ones and twos.
Yeah, we're missing
and
something.
yeah, we'll sort of see you off with a few tunes, hopefully. Let's just see if anyone's got any final questions. Jimmy Tumac's asking about Logic 10. I think it's all rumours at the moment, isn't it, on Logic 10? Yeah, I don't think there's any sort of official announcement.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything just yet, but the rumours are maybe when Mountain Lion comes out, there could be.
I mean, we're an Apple-approved training centre here at Point Blank, so hopefully Apple will keep us posted on that, and obviously we'll integrate any of the kind of new Logic 10 features into the courses, you know, as soon as we can. So yeah, the guys are just getting set up on the decks, so bear with us for a second. Any final questions from any of you guys? Let's do a quick refresh on the comments. Maybe there was some that I missed from earlier. Let's have a quick look.
Sure.
I think we've tackled pretty much all of them, actually. So yeah, as I said earlier on, those of you that were asking about, you know, like name checking particular tunes or looking at how particular tracks are developed and the sounds they use and that kind of thing. This is all the sort of stuff that you know, we look at in the classes, week in, week out, as part of the forums, also part of the live master classes. You'll also find that some of the online classes, you know, have got specific tutorials where we deconstruct specific tracks. Not necessarily ones that you you suggest, but you know, like for example on the hip hop course, there's a thing called beat analysis that we do on like 4, 5, 6 different kind of classic hip hop tunes, and just show you exactly how those kind of those tracks were put together. Am I going to MC for Danny's set? That's a very good suggestion. I think I might do that. Not. I didn't bring my rhyme book with me this week, sorry. Normally it's on me at all times, but this week I forgot my book of rhymes. I could freestyle it, but...
maybe if someone else has got a question that I can answer whilst we're waiting.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Because we're just waiting at the moment. We're missing an output from the mixer, which is kind of crucial really, but it wasn't set up before. So I could DJ over there, but you wouldn't know what's happening. So whilst we're waiting, let's have a look. Ah, okay, Jimmy to Mac. Okay, so you're to SNX, right. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, Digital Puppy's asking about the machine course. That's still in development at the moment, so that will be launched later this year. There's a few people working on that currently, so I'm not quite sure who's going to be teaching it at the moment, but you know, if you've looked at the website, you'll see that there's a pretty kind of crack team of producers working here at Point Blank. So yeah, rest assured that will be in good hands, and should go live at the end of the year, or towards the end of the year. Other new courses that you might want to check out, there's also a new drum and bass course which launches next month on Logic. So if you're a drum and bass head, that's definitely worth checking out. There's a number of like really top of their game producers involved in that. Yeah, check. There's a promo video on the website. I seriously recommend you take a look at that, because that's yeah, really good new course. Do any courses go through optimising a PC for production? There's a section, when you enrol on a course, there's a section that you get access to the week before the course starts, which is called Getting Started. There's some interesting stuff in there about optimising your computer for audio and things like that. So that's definitely worth a look. So if you're on a course, you'll find that it's kind of week 0, if you like. So it's the week before the course starts. So that's definitely worth a look through. Again, obviously, if you've got specific questions about, you know, optimising your computer for production, then it's the kind of thing you could ask your tutor. Yes, Danny, you're the Don, says Jimmy 2 Mac.
We'll see if he's still saying that after I've finished mixing. Yeah, basically, I only found out today, so I had to download the tunes before, so I don't even know the tunes, so it's going to be a real, it's going to be an interesting one.
Someone's asking, talk about Danny's DJ gear. I mean, essentially, what we've done is borrowed some DJ kit from the DJ studio. So the DJ studio here at Point Blank is sponsored by Pioneer. So as you can see, there's some rather sort of tasty Pioneer kit. We've
got the CDJ 2000s, and this is actually the first time that I've ever used them myself, and I'm very impressed. I've got basically a USB stick, which is, I mean, this is worth checking out really. The USB stick here is basically being shared across 2, because there's an Ethernet cable. So this is connecting the 2 discs, you know, the 2 CDJ 2000s, literally, so that I can play tunes on here from this USB key. So, you know, this is pretty amazing stuff. You know, I've only ever used CDs, put CDs in and push play, and you know, this whole thing, the digital thing for me is really good, because as someone who sort of came from vinyl, then went on to CDs, who's now seeing these sort of things in the clubs. I mean, the CDJs are actually appearing in a lot of clubs, so to get your hands on something like this is amazing, really, to be able to practice, because they're so expensive. That's one of the great things about, you know, Point Blank with the DJ courses, that you get your hands on this kind of gear, you know. So
you've got access to the DJ studio. Well, that's true of all the courses here at the college, actually. You've got access to the studio 7 days a week on the courses here. So as Danny mentioned, the great thing about the DJ course is you come in for your classes each week, and then you've got that really, really valuable practice time. And you can practice on equipment ranging from, you know, the real sort of top of the range you know, club standard Pioneer gear that you see in here, through to a more sort of modest setup. So we take students right the way through from, you know, the kind of basics of learning to beat match, right the way through to, you know, some of the kind of high-end gear that you find in places like Fabric and Ministry and, you know, those kind of clubs. So, yeah, hopefully we should get going pretty shortly with Danny's final DJ set. Let's just see if there's any more comments coming in. Let's see who's saying what. Man, I want those decks, says Terra Jumper. Yeah, that's pretty much what everyone says when they walk into the DJ studio, to be honest. People's kind of jaws hit the floor. So yeah, I mean, as I said before, you know, it's a great opportunity to get your hands on some of the kind of, you know, the latest kind of studio gear and really get in some good practice time on the kind of, you know, top of the range equipment. Are you guys ready to roll?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, thanks for joining us on Friday Forum Live. It is a bit of a special one this week because we're saying goodbye to Danny. So yeah, we'd like to wish him all the best in his future endeavours. I'm sure he will continue to kind of, you know, keep producing music, and I'm sure there'll be a sort of tutorial element to that as well. But yeah, in the meantime, Danny's going to play us out with a few tunes. So yeah, over to Danny.
Right.